the girl a-running in a group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look at Buddy, hot rod at large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod. She's my hot rod.
But I knew these guys were having a great car show in Valpo for a great cause. And I just wanted to get them on and talk about it and let everybody out in the audience and all my clutch busters and gearheads out there know what they're doing. On the far left is Bob Carnegie. This is Spiro Olympidas. And they are running the Sapper 6 Memorial event. It's a memorial car show. But Bob, we had a discussion. Bob, what is a sapper?
Well, the sapper today is a combat engineer, but historically sappers were parts of different military organizations that did construction, dug holes, dug tunnels, and things like that. So they did manual labor for all practical purposes.
Okay, and Spiro, you were a sapper.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you were a sapper in Iraq.
Yep. 2004, 2005.
Okay, now, the Valparaiso National Guard is how this all started. But it goes back before that, right, Bob?
That's correct.
Tell us about the Folds of Honor.
Well, I can just tell you the way I found the Folds of Honor, and I went to the golf course on 2010 over the Labor Day weekend, and they said, put $1 in the basket. And I said, what do you want $1 for? What's $1? And they said, no, it's for the Folds of Honor. I said, what's that? They said, it's the Folds of Honor. And I said, okay. And so they said the website is such and such, and so I went home and after put my $1 in and checked it out, and unbeknownst to the people at the golf course, I spent 13 months in Vietnam. And when I read what the Folds of Honor was, which is a foundation to assist children to go to college whose parent has either been killed or severely wounded in Iraq or Afghanistan. And so reading that and correlating it to what I had experienced many, many, many years ago, I said, wow, this is something that I need to pay attention to. So talked to the golf course and said, how much money did we collect? And found out it was only a couple $100. And I said, there's a lot of kids that need help getting into college and stuff like that. So we decided that the next year we'd have a golf outing. And of course, I thought they were going to do everything, and they thought I was going to do everything. And we met.
I know how that works.
We met in the middle, and they asked me how I was doing, and I have no clue what I was doing. But a lot of friends surrounded me and helped me, and we got it off the ground, and we've run that golf outing now for the last 8 years, and we've been able to donate over $150,000 to the foundation. And these children who have a hole in their heart, in their life, can't go play catch with their dad, can't go to a Cub game or a Sox game with their dad. The people of this country need to fill that hole and need to fill that gap. And I feel very, very strongly that I need to share that story here locally because it's a national organization. Kids representing all 50 states are part of that foundation today.
Okay, now, the Sapper 6. Sapper, again, is a combat engineer now, which is Spiro. He was a combat engineer. He was a sapper. Are you out of the Valparaiso National Guard unit?
Out of Valparaiso.
Okay, and that's where these guys are from.
Yes.
Did you know these fellas?
I knew some of these guys.
There were 6 of them that were killed in the Middle East. And, of course, they have families. And they're raising money for these six people. You want to tell the people their names? Come on.
Oh, you have Sergeant Metzger, Specialist Todorus, Sergeant Leinhardt, Specialist Perez, Specialist Patterson, and Specialist Taylor.
These are 6 fellas didn't come home from the Middle East, and now what's going to happen is their families need to have some help. They need some taken care of, and they need to know that you guys care, that we all care. And this is this is just outstanding as far as I'm concerned. The idea of a golf outing, how did you come up with that? Or not the golf outing, but the car show?
Well, we've had a couple different types of memorial services for these gentlemen, and over the years, it's just kind of evolved into more of a celebration. And to be able to get the families together and to be able to show these families that the communities there, and that they remember. We remember your kids that you lost, and we thank you. It's always been a very warming event for these family members. Then I ran into a couple buddies, Chris Cooter. I ran into Daryl from Cars for Charity.
Daryl, yeah.
And I went out to their Make-A-Wish event that they had last weekend, and met Daryl for the first time, and Chris. I've known Chris for years, but met these guys, and the community, the culture, the car culture is it's very veteran oriented. There are I noticed a lot of guys have military themed vehicles. A lot of guys are service. You can see they're wearing part of their uniforms.
Very patriotic group.
Very patriotic group. And it's a perfect mix. So we decided to have a car show. We didn't know what we were doing. We knew cars have motors.
I told you he was really sharp.
Right. So other than motors and we didn't know what we were doing with the car show.
Well, you picked the right guys.
We did.
Daryl and Chris are.
They're coming out. They're running the show for us. They're helping organize everything. We're going to have a lot of cars out, and we're real excited about this opportunity to show these families a whole new culture, a whole new group of people that they haven't even seen yet. Just coming out to say we remember, thank you, and this is a celebration. We got the Craw Puppies.
Cool.
They're fun. They're a great group. We have music, beer. We got the food. Yeah.
They rock a crowd. The Craw Puppies are an audience participation type band. They're really great.
Yeah,
they get a place going. They make it happen. They're outstanding. Wow. And this is at the Family Express on 49.
It's not on 49. So there's actually two events that occur here. You have a motorcycle run.
Okay.
That begins in the morning at our corporate office on 49. It starts at 9 o'clock. We're out there by 10 o'clock, and we're going to visit some local war memorials, and we're going to end up at the festival at noon. So the festival kicks off at noon, and the car show kicks off at noon.
Oh, I see. The Family Express is on Calumet Avenue.
Yeah, Calumet Avenue, 2605 Calumet Avenue in Valparaiso, Indiana, and that is directly behind the Family Express there at that new traffic circle.
Oh, the roundabout?
Yes, the roundabout.
My God, don't get T-Rex started on that. We lost about 4 hours one day going to Valparaiso because of that, or coming home.
Oh, I hope you weren't driving around that for 4
Oh,
hours.
no, but we ended up going out the wrong way. I went by the prison somewhere, and I was everywhere. I saw parts of Indiana I didn't know existed. I hate roundabouts. Well, this is going to be a fantastic show. You guys have put together, you got the right people helping you with it for the first time out. And you got the brochures, you got everybody out there. People are already talking about it. They were talking about it at the car show Sunday at the Make-A-Wish show. There was other guys that were there with their cars saying, hey, we should go out to that. That's a great deal. It's a great cause. This whole deal of the Sapper Six and Folds of Honor is something that Northwest Indiana sorely needs. Sorely. There's a lot of different organizations that are doing this and doing that, but think about the kids and putting them in college because they have no dad or mom to earn enough money to send them to college. This is going to be a fantastic thing, and of course the Craw Puppies make it happen. And food vendors, I see you're going to have food trucks.
Yep, we got the Heroes for Hot Dogs, which is pretty spectacular. The gentleman that runs the Heroes for Hot Dog, it's not really a food truck. He has a truck. Which I got to be very careful in the car culture of exactly what I call something.
Yes, you do.
There's classifications for everything.
Oh, hey, yeah. If you're gonna get into the car world,
right.
You've got to learn the terminology.
So he's got an old fire truck that he's converted into his. So that's pretty cool. And then we have a local guy out here that's coming out and doing some tacos. So and then Family Express is also having some pizza available. So we got tons of food, hot, cold food, beer. If you're into what's the game where you throw the bean bag into the circle?
Cornhole.
It's just as bad as golf, but you don't need the sticks.
Yeah, you don't get a stick. You don't get to play with a stick. So Family Express is behind this quite a bit. You're helping it out.
We're helping out.
That's a
We're-
great thing.
He's,
We're happy to
he's,
do it.
he's being kind. They're doing a fantastic job and have thrown their weight behind this, helping with marketing, helping with a lot of different things that when you're a one-man band or 2 or 3 people, it's very hard to get the impetus and get a lot of people out.
Well, and if you're trying something for the first time, it's
Right, absolutely.
it helps to have a little experience behind you.
Absolutely.
You know, and the name Family Express, I guess that means Family Express, doesn't it?
Exactly
That's
correct.
and it's local. That's a locally owned and locally here. I mean, it's right here in Northwest Indiana. Are you guys in Michigan yet?
Not in Michigan.
No,
Not in
I don't
Michigan.
blame you. Or Illinois.
Or in Illinois.
No, you don't want to come to Illinois. We got too much corruption over here. You know, let me
But
tell you.
you need gasoline.
Yeah, well, we need gasoline. That's how we start the fires when we loot. I'm telling you, Family Express in the Northwest Indiana area is just exactly what it sounds like. Family Express. They're involved in this up to their chin. Spiro here is obviously taking things over and doing things right, and Bob, of course, has got the whole thing is just coming together. It's going to be great. When we come back, we will be talking to Bob and Spiro again. There's some other things I want to touch on for this show, and I want you to understand this whole Folds of Honor thing. Folds of Honor is that flag that they give to the surviving spouse, that 11th fold, the tuck. With my 2 buddies I've just found out, they're all my brand new pals, my brand new best friends on WIMS, WHFB, AM, and FM. I'm Big George the Carguy, and these guys we're just having a ball sitting here. What you can't hear, we can't tell you, and that's good because we're really having a good time. This whole Folds of Honor thing, it started in a way that when Bob told me the story earlier, I had to sit back and take a deep breath. Bob, tell us how the Folds of Honor got started.
I'd be happy to. I'm very proud to talk about this. There's a gentleman by the name of Dan Rooney. He lives in Oklahoma. He has roots from Michigan, and he was on the golf team in high school, played golf in college. I think it was either Kansas or Kansas State. I get them confused. But he went and tried to golf tour for a year, didn't make it there, got into working at a golf course, but his real love was to fly F-16s. And he joined the Oklahoma Air National Guard. And he was deployed 3 times, and on his second tour, on the way home, he was on an airplane landing in Chicago. He was going on to Grand Rapids, Michigan to visit with his family. And as the plane was coming in for the landing, the pilot asked everybody to say seated as the plane came down and landed because they had a hero in the belly of the plane. Now, Dan was sitting, so he was on the right side of the plane and could see what was going to happen. And he did notice a young man in the front of the plane who was in full dress military uniform. He didn't realize that was the twin brother of the young man in the belly of the plane.
Oh, my.
And he was escorting his brother home. So Dan Rooney was sitting, he was a captain at the time, sitting so he could see the entourage except the flag-draped coffin, and he saw the 8-year-old son. And he was deeply moved. And as that finished up and they put the body in a hearse to take it off to the funeral home, he picked up his phone and called his wife and said, "I'm going to tell you that something has just happened in our life. I don't know exactly what it means, but our lives have changed." So Dan had an idea, and he thought that it would be great to start a foundation to help with college scholarships for children who've lost a parent in Iraq or Afghanistan. He didn't have any idea exactly what to do, but because he was involved with the golf community, he said, maybe I can take it to the USGA and PGA, the 2 governing bodies for the golfing community, and start to see what we could do together. They immediately listened to Dan's story and thought it was a great idea and started the thinking about what ultimately became the Folds of Honor Foundation. And the name Folds of Honor has deep, deep, deep meaning because if you've ever been or seen in a movie or whatever, the burial and the funeral of a military person, they take that flag that's draped over the coffin and fold it in a special and particular way. And once they fold it 2 long ways, they start to take it, form a triangle and form it into 3 sides. And that's the picture we've seen. But as they fold it for that triangular formation, there are meaning for the 12 folds. And Dan based the Folds of Honor Foundation on what's the sixth fold. And the sixth fold is for where our hearts lie. It is with our heart that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And that's the foundation of the Folds of Honor.
Wow, now that's the story. And the first time you didn't tell me that his twin brother was there. Oh my goodness, that's just whew. I'm going to tell you, the Folds of Honor is a great cause, and this Sapper 6 is a local great cause. The Folds of Honor is nationwide, correct?
That is correct.
But this is region-wide. These are guys from Valparaiso, from the National Guard unit, from all over Indiana, of course, right? I mean, Spiro, now your troops, that National Guard, they come from all over Indiana, right?
All over Indiana.
Sappers are a specialty group?
We like to think so.
Well, fundamentally, they weren't for a long, long time, and the Army has accepted the sapper just like they accept the airborne. They have a special, what's called a tab, that goes over the left pocket, the left sleeve, and that gives them a kind of rating that they're very specially trained individuals.
Okay, and that's what the Valpo National Guard is all sappers. It's
Correct.
It's
correct.
a sapper battalion or whatever.
That's correct.
My goodness. Let's get back to the the car show. Jeez, that's a sad story, and it's a terrible story. But guess what? It's time to do something about it and take care of these kids and get them in school. They got a future ahead of them. They deserve it, and you can help. Spiro, you've got a big TV you're giving away.
Yes.
A 65.
65 inches. And we measured it. It's a actual 65 inches.
That's too big
It's
for
not
my
like
car. Yeah.
it's not like we looked at it and said, "Hey, that's 65 inches." It's 65 inches.
October 6th at 12 p.m. Unbelievable. You got a beer garden.
Yep.
Games. It says games. Games for the kids.
We have there's actually a cornhole tournament going on for the adults.
Okay.
And that's a alcoholic operation.
Yeah, that's big with the adults. I'm telling you, the beer and the
Yeah.
cornhole is a fun game.
We're excited to see that. I guess the aiming gets better as you go on.
Well,
But
not in my case, it doesn't.
now,
but-
then we have a lot of bouncy houses, and the National Guard is actually bringing out a bunch of their equipment for marketing to the event. Some of the stuff that the kids love, one of those big rubber band things you run in, and just all kinds of different
Maybe
things
some
for the kids to
some
do.
trucks and stuff.
Yeah, we have trucks. Military vehicles will be out there. We have face painting,
God,
magicians.
kids love those. That's just fantastic.
We found somebody that breathes fire, so she says. So I'm hoping that's an exhale only.
that might be
but
my
we'll-
ex-mother-in-law.
I don't know. I don't know.
She breathed fire. And I don't know if that's her, but she did breathe fire.
Yep.
So you get there at noon. There's going to be stuff going all day long. It's all family friendly. The music. What time do the Craw Puppies start?
The Crop Puppies are pretty much going to be going the whole time, and we're going to be filling those band breaks in with some other entertainment. The fire breathers, the magician, I guess the lady that does the face painting wears balloons
my.
everywhere. So I don't know what that. That's what she told me. I'm not sure what that means. But we're gonna
I'm
find
not
out.
either, but by God, I'm going to find out.
We'll find out
absolutely.
together.
I honestly, maybe I could get a balloon or two. You never know. Now, of course, I like the Craw Puppies. They're a good band. The 65-inch TV, the car show is going to have trophies, and you have something a little bit special about this.
Well-
the Sapper 6.
After being schooled by Daryl, who is a expert, I would say, when it comes to putting these shows together,
He does a good job.
He suggested that the families have the opportunity to select their own cars and have their own special trophies. So we have over 30 trophies. Some of them are from Cars for Charity. Some of them are from the Sapper 6. Some of them are from the
O'Reilly's.
O'Reilly's Auto Parts has been a great sponsor of ours. So we're ready to go out there and hand out some trophies, have some fun, and at the same time raise a little money to help these kids out.
And when we say families, that is the 6 families of the Sappers will be the ones making a selection of the best car.
Of those guys, the ones you read off earlier.
Right.
Okay, from the Valpo
National Guard.
They're not necessarily from
Valpo.
Valparaiso or
Correct.
that area. They could be from anywhere in Indiana, but still, it's a it's a great cause. My God, and I'll tell you what, this whole Folds of Honor thing, the onset of it, the initiation of it is just outstanding. You guys deserve all the support you can get, and that's for sure. I don't know. It amazes me. The car show itself, with those kind of trophies and the certain people picking them, is going to be great. The car show itself, if it's run with Daryl and the boys from the Cars for Charity, it'll be fantastic. They have a lot of contacts. There'll be a lot of guys that just like to come out and show off their cars.
I could not believe some of the cars
that
they had at that show.
On Sunday, they drew over 170 cars to that place. The last count was 170 and counting when I left. And they actually had the girl from Make-A-Wish give a car away, or give a trophy away, pick a car. And that worked out really nice.
That was a cool
situation. We're going to have her on the show in a couple weeks. Daryl's going to bring her up here, and she's going to tell us all about her wish.
Oh, that's going to be far more entertaining than me and Bob.
For sure.
She's cuter than Bob, that's for sure.
Well,
hey, watch it.
That's
I got a
hard.
big following.
You know, we asked the guys out there why they come to the show, and one of the guys told me, he says, we put a lot of time and energy into these cars, and it's really nice for us to be able to come to these shows and put a lot of that money that we put into the car back into the community. So
absolutely, and
nice
show it off a little
bit.
But they're hard work and everything. But they still, especially these patriotic causes, you're going to find that the car show group or the car show mentality is very patriotic, and anything to do with the military, fallen veterans is a huge thing. Veterans that are wounded is a big deal. Even the PTSD. I did a couple shows last year for PTSD. And the dogs, the training dogs, and it's just service dogs are just fantastic. I mean, in Northwest Indiana, those people they're great. It's just a great place to have a car show and have a good cause, such as military. Very patriotic area. It's going to be one of the best things you'll ever see. It's going to be great. Bob Carnegie and Spiro Olympitis from the Family Express, matter of fact, which is a family affair. Boy, these guys do a good job.